Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Michael Makinde. Welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, you're welcome back. If you're new here, I celebrate you. Welcome to my channel. I have come again to bring you chart analysis. We'll take a look at the chart, see what the market did in the previous weeks and what we're expecting from the market in the next week that we're looking into. All right, we're grateful because last week wasn't bad. We had a few setups, some of them in our TP, some of them it hit our stop loss, but nonetheless, it wasn't so much of a bad week. Now, the idea now is not to revel on the losses that we had, it's to look forward, look ahead, see what we have and the market has for us, and how we can leverage on the profits we can get in the next week. The first thing we do is to look out for the fundamentals that we are likely to have in the coming week. What should we be expecting from the market? This is forexfactory.com, and under the calendar session, you can see quite a number of red folder news for next week. On Monday is French bank holiday. So for euro traders, euro USD particularly, all euro traders, euro quote traders, you may have issues with volatility because the French bank will be closed. Although the German banks will be open, so there may be some volatility for euro. Well, there may not be so much. Okay, the idea is for us to have an idea of what is happening that day so that if we are seeing very slow volatility, very slow movement, we know why that is happening. And if the market is going crazy, we also know why that is happening. Especially with all of this news, the market is likely going to go crazy. On Tuesday, we have CPI for both US dollars and the Canadian dollars. So for all of us, Tuesday is going to be a day we have to be very careful. If you're going to be trading London session, you should be very careful. Your trades should be very short-term trades because London session will likely create liquidity that the news is going to go for. Okay, and always make sure that you trade in the direction of the trend. Most news fundamentals would align with the trend. It may seem as though it's going against the trend. Most times is to go for liquidity to continue in that trend. Don't trade against the trend, okay? And for news traders, I am not a news trader. I usually allow the news to be released and I position myself, or I position myself before the news, okay? And stay clear of liquidity areas. Wednesday is also CPI for GBP, that's the Great Britain pound. PPI also 1:30 p.m. on Wednesday. Thursday is for Australian dollars and also for the US dollars. Core retail sales, month retail sales, month of month, unemployment claims. Friday is a free day, so you're free to align yourself on Friday and make sure you don't take losses because Friday should be for profit and withdrawals. All right. So basically, next week is full of news. We have to be very careful. We have to be certain of our setups before we place them so that we don't become liquidity and we don't lose our capital in this next week. All right, so let's go straight into the chart. All right, so I have Euro USD on the 4 hour time frame, but let's start from the monthly time frame. What do we have with the Euro USD on the monthly time frame? When you look at the higher time frame, you see that the euro dollar has been on a bearish trend all the way, especially since 2009. There about 2008, 2009, the euro dollar has consistently been falling all the way down. All right, so I drew a bit of zone somewhere here, break of structure, break of structure, break of structure, somewhere there. Now, if price for whatever reason breaks above this price 1.23 and closes above, that may signal a change of market character. Can we see euro dollar gaining all of its losses over the years? That's a possibility, but since we're on a monthly time frame, that may take us another 6 months, 1 year for us to even get to this zone. All right, But we need to know that that's what multi-time frame analysis tends to tell us, that what happens on the higher time frame until we come down to the lower time frame. But basically, I'm more interested in what is happening here. Okay, especially until we get to that place. So on this, especially in this zone that I drew starting somewhere from January 1. Oh, that's perfect. 1st of January up to today, the euro dollar has been on the bullish trend. That's on the lower time frame, okay? So what can we do? How can we leverage on this move? Can we still get in to push all the way to this upside? But let's see what we have on the lower time frame. Let's go straight. I'm more interested in the forward time frame now. Let's just go directly into that. On the forward time frame, obviously, the euro dollar has been moving all the way up. Okay, all the way up. I think it's still targeting the zone that we drew earlier. Okay, but on the forward time frame, we've been seeing things like higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Yeah, just basically. Okay, so about that. Okay, so we have something like this. So on the 4 time frame, we have Euro USD going all the way up. Let's draw our our little zones. Okay, so we have this break of structure, another break of structure, another major break of structure. Then we have smaller breaks of structure. But as far as I'm concerned, on the higher time frame, this is one single move, in my opinion. That's on the higher time frame. When you go down to 1 hour time frame, 30 minutes, then all of those would be minor breaks of structure, which is expected anyways. All right, so we have this and then a bit of retracement. In my opinion, I think this range is very important. Okay, I think this range is very important for me as a demand zone, partly because of some of these things, of some of these inducements around. So could price want to do this and go up? That's a possibility. But then let's see on the lower time frame. Let's go down straight to the hourly time frame and see what the market has done in the last week. And for people who were able to cash in on that movement, well, I'm happy for all of you guys. So basically, the hourly time frame would definitely show us that the euro dollar has been falling, which is something like this. Okay. All right. So on the hourly time frame, we're seeing this. Let's start from here. Just like I told us, the higher time frame may just show something that looks more like a straight line move. But when you go down, you'll see something a bit more clearly. Okay, so this is a break of structure, a break of structure, another break of structure. But this was where we started having our first change of market character. And it's because price did not break this high, it actually broke the low that formed this high. So this is a change of market character. All of these are breaks of structures. So let's mark them. Let's mark them. We have our breaks of structure there. Then we have our next break of structure again. Then our next break of structure. Then another break of structure. Then for this, for me, the break of structure happened here. Okay. All right, so we have, let's mark them quickly. Our BOS, another BOS, another BOS, then finally our BOS. Okay. Now, for many people were able to cash in, there were actually moves that happened around. There was this, and a move to the upside, to the downside, sorry. And there was another, then another, then another, then another. Okay. Okay, so we have this happening. Then can we have something like this happening? Because in the new week, because we're already looking or touching the analysis already. So we have an area of supply here. We have an inducement hanging up there. Those are traps for sellers. So that's an inducement. Let me note that. There's an inducement. Okay. So what I think may happen, let's go down to the 30 minutes time frame to see that a bit more clearly. Okay. Could we see price coming all the way, let's say then this, and pulls all the way down? Because that's a possibility. Because if I'm looking at this as my final zone, could this be what we will be looking at for next week? Let's see. But I think this is a good place, partly because of this inducement. It's a long one, so sellers must have been trapped thinking it may not. So but this is what I think may happen on the euro for the euro USD starting from Monday. Yes, euro may be a bit slow. So I think the slowness of the euro will be to build up the price up till this place until it gets here. So I will be looking at this place for price movement for the euro USD. So let me set my price alert there. So if it gets there, it alerts me that price has gotten there, then we see the reaction from there, and then we move on from there. Let's take a look quickly at gold. Let me delete all of those things and go to our daily time frame. Let's see gold from the daily time frame. So all ye sellers of gold, here we are with gold. Gold seems to be on steroids. It seems like it will not come down forever. It will keep going up forever. Well, there's a law in the financial market. Whatever goes up will come down. Will gold come down? I can say. Will gold keep moving up? I can say. I will just take a look at what the price is doing, align myself with what price is doing. Whether it goes up is not my business. Whether it's coming down is not my business. As long as I'm in line with the market and I ride with the market. All right. So on the daily time frame, there's a bit of a range. Gold is stuck in a range. All right. So what we'll need to see is a break out of this range. Will it break out or will it break below? I can say. All right, but how can we leverage on the current price movement? So gold has a bit of a resistance up here, and the resistance is so strong that I was able to push price down three different times. Okay, the first here, the second, and then the third there. Okay, then there's another range, there's another support. This actually were the ones that formed, that pushed gold into a zone, rejected at this support but could not reject at this resistance. So what are we doing about gold? Let's come down to the lower time frame first to draw our zones, and then we see what price is going to do. All right, let's go. Let's see the 2 hour time frame. All right. In the new week, I believe we may be seeing. But let's see what we have. Let's go back to 4 hours. I need to mark some zones there to make us understand and make it a bit clearer for us. Okay, so this is on the 4 hour time frame. Let's mark it. Let's mark zones of break of structures, change of market characters. Now let's start from here. Okay, now gold came all the way down with this. Let me just draw it basically. So we have this, we have this, we have this, then we have this with this, higher high, higher low, higher high, then we have a bit of, okay, what does this really tell us? For me, it makes a bit more sense. Okay, but let me start drawing my zones from here. Let me start drawing. This was where this high was violated. So for me, that's a change of market character. You see that there were breaks of structures, and the reason why it was a change of character was because there were breaks of structure. Break, another break of structure here. These are little breaks of structure. There's a break of structure. Then this high that formed this break of structure was violated. Okay, it was broken out, so it becomes a change of market character. In my opinion, just like I always say, for me this seems to be a single market move. It seems to me like it's a single move, although with a minor break of structure. Okay, how am I going to handle this? I'm going to handle this as a single move, just like I said, and we're going to have, okay, let's get this deleted. We're going to have this, for me, is a major break of structure, but this is a minor break of structure. But this is the major, this is the one I'm more interested in. All right, so it seemed price reacted to the range that formed that move. I'm usually more interested in the range that forms a break of structure rather than the candle that forms that break of structure. Or the range will tell us more because it is in that range that whatever order was placed was actually placed. Not particularly in the smallest candle, but for me, I found out that the range works better than the price. Okay, so it reacted from there. Then there's a break of structure. Okay, there's a break of structure. The market seemed to react off the range again. For me, the range, this seems to be the range, reacted off that. But at the moment, this seems to be the low. In my opinion, this seems to be the low of this move. So I believe this is more of a change of market character. Yeah, I know different people with different opinions of what the low is, but I'm usually not disturbed by the minor breaks or structures within a single move. If you look at this move, which I call a single move, there are actually minor breaks or structures there, but I'm looking at it on the broader picture. All right. So, what do I think may be what is going to happen to gold at the moment? There seems to be a demand zone. No, sorry, that's a supply zone. Okay. There seems to be one here and there seems to be another here. But gold is very tricky. Gold can be very tricky, which means that this can actually be an inducement for us. All of this can be an inducement. Okay. So this can be an inducement, which means that price may use this as liquidity, may intentionally violate this before it begins to make the move downward. Now, the reason why I have a bearish bias is because of this break of structure. Now, gold will confirm a bullish move if the price can break above this. If I can see price breaking above this, then it has violated the highest high and it wants to form a higher high. But as long as gold is still trading below this price or this zone, it is still bearish in my opinion. Okay, but I will keep an eye. As far as I'm concerned, I think this may not really hold, but let's keep it there. So let's keep an eye on this because this is more like a trendline liquidity hanging somewhere here. Price may be interested in this rather than this. All right, so that's what I am looking at for both Euro USD and gold. All right, thank you so much. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please kindly click on the subscribe button. Please share this video, comment, and like this video. I would be giving my analysis as often as I can, particularly every weekend before the new week begins. All right. I wish everyone a profitable week ahead. Thank you so much.